Fingerboard Friday. That is right, it is Fingerboard Friday today. So for Fingerboard Friday, you guys have asked for how to make a fingerboard quarter pipe, so I'm giving it to you. So quite a few of you have wanted to see how to make a fingerboard quarter pipe, and I have actually made that video over a year ago, like over a year and a half ago actually. So I thought I'd remake the video, make it even better, show how to make the process a little bit easier, and basically just make this video even better than I did when I made it over a year and a half ago. So pretty much I'm using the same method that I have made many things on the channel with. I made this spine with this method, I made a half pipe with this method, and I also used the same method to make this. I never made this in a YouTube video, although I kind of wish I did, so that I don't need to make another YouTube video on how to make this, because I'll probably make a YouTube video on how to make this. But for today, we are going to make a quarter pipe. So let's get started. So the main material you will need for this project is just a piece of foam board. You can get this at the dollar store for $1. Something else you can get at most dollar stores, I got this at Dollarama, including the foam board, is this piece of like kind of cardstock, and it is pretty tough stuff. It is like about 3 times thicker than a sheet of paper, and you can get 2 pieces for $1. So we are going to put this on top of what we make, but first we need to cut out our foam board. But before we do that, we just need to make a template. So this is just an ordinary piece of paper. I recommend using cardstock for this. It'll just make it a little bit easier, but it really doesn't matter what you use. You can use veneer, you can use paper, it really doesn't matter, but we are just making a template. So your lines don't need to be like super straight, but I'm just going to draw this out. I am just going to fix my line just a little bit, so I'm just going to go over this again, just change how it looks. That's a bit better. So this is going to be our template, so let's mark that as a template. So this is now traced onto a piece of foam, so now we get to cut it out. So now I'm going to trace this onto here. I could use my template, but ideally I would have made this out of a little bit of a stronger material, because it's really hard to trace on, because all it takes is this and then it kind of just folds the paper over and makes it really hard to trace. So I'm just going to trace our foam. It's pretty much the same thing. So we need 3 in total, so let's trace this here. So we have our 3 pieces cut out now, and all that we need to do now is make some braces that go in between each layer. I will explain. So these are going to stand up like this, but we need a support in between each of them. So what we are going to do is cut out a bunch of these little notches that will go in place, kind of like ribs. These will be little rib pieces that will go in place. We will glue them all together, and then our paper will line the top of it. So to make the whole thing easier to see, we're going to be using black for that. So we have this strip marked here, so we are going to cut it out and make as many ribs as we need. So there you go. Now we just need to do that many more times until we have enough, and I'm not gonna say the exact amount because it really depends the project that you are doing. So I will show you once we have all of these complete.
A few moments later.
All the pieces are now cut out and we are ready to glue this all together. So basically what you want to do here is take your piece, lay it flat on a table, and basically just start gluing these in place. But only glue the first one in place and then I will show you what to do. We are using hot glue, of course, because it is the best glue in the world. So now we are going to glue this like that. So now what you want to do is take your rib, put some glue like that on both sides, and now just fit it into place. I like to do about the same spacing as the thickness of this. So you get the idea now. Basically just keep doing this all the way down and then I will show you what to do.
A few inches later.
So our first piece is complete, which you see right here. So now what we want to do is just glue this piece here and then attach this. So now you see where this is going. We do the exact same thing, only on this side while it is attached. And you can also make this whatever size you want. You see I use 3 of these pieces, like so. You can use as many as you want. You can make a complete quarter pipe table. You can make it as long as you want. You can make it as short as you want. It really doesn't matter. The sky's the limit with this method. Be really gentle with this when you only have a couple ribs in place. As you might have saw there, I almost tipped this right off. So you want about 4 ribs before it is safe to start moving around. So we are just going to repeat this process.
2,000 years later.
Alright, huge update. This is almost complete. All we need to do now is put a cardstock over top. So as you see, I put these ribs on top as well and then put 2 on the back just for strength. And this is looking very good. And I love this method because it is so simple and so easy to make very big obstacles. Like this is a decent sized quarter pipe and I made this in under half an hour. So very easy. So remember this. This is the stuff that is going to go over top. So what I like to do for this is just measure how wide our obstacle is, measure it down below, measure it on top, see if it matches, and then cut it out. This time I'm actually trying something a little bit different. I've laid this flat on this piece. So now we are going to mark how wide it is on each side, and then we can just cut it out. And of course, we need to go extra just to get it on top. So let's cut this out. So originally I was going to cut this big enough so I could just fit this over top. But what I'm actually going to do is just line it up perfectly like so, glue that in place, and then just put a cap on top. So how you want to glue it? You want to basically just put a bead of glue along the top, like this. Get it on fast. Make sure you line it up as best as you can. And I think I did a pretty good job there. So this step is one of the easiest steps out of all the steps. You might be thinking, oh no, now I need to put glue on all the ribs, lay it down, it's gonna be rough. No, you don't need to do any of that. All you need to do is put glue just on the outside pieces, and that is all you need to do. So I normally like to just do some of it on one side, like that. Do this. I like to just wipe the excess glue out just because it looks a bit better. Now I do the same on the other side. And we are on the home stretch. Just need to give it a little test. it is now complete. This thing looks awesome and I cannot wait to fingerboard on it. So all that I'm going to do now is hot glue it down onto the table. Because this is so lightweight, it just does that. And a lot of people have questioned me how I keep my obstacles from sliding all over the place, and my only answer is hot glue. So let me just take my wireless hot glue gun, glue this down into place, and we're set. So I've got my fingerboard, I've got a quarter pipe, there's one thing left to do. Do a kickflip. But now time to skate this. New grind, question mark? I did a trick and pretty much landed it like this, but just kept going. And then I somehow pulled out of it, and that actually kind of turned out kind of neat. So this project was very fun to make and very easy to make, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Fingerboard Friday video. Your boy Canadian David Jones did it again. Again, I have to say that on a Fingerboard Friday or else you guys all comment and are like, you didn't say it's your boy Canadian David Jones back with another video. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed this Fingerboard Friday video, and I definitely encourage you to try this out because it is very easy, fast, and quick to make. You can also do this exact same thing with kiteboard. Instead of using foam board, you can just use kiteboard if you have that lying around, and then just put even paper on top. You might want to do numerous layers of paper to make it a little bit stronger, but it's a very easy technique. So I hope you enjoyed today's Fingerboard Friday video, and if you did and you are unsubscribed, the button is right down there. You know what to do, just push it right there. One video up there, another one down there, and I will see you in my next video.